RSL Nation? Welcome back to
The
the Bros.
bro. Woohoo! Very
Oh,
nice.
that was smooth. That
That
was
was
really
smooth, smooth, smooth.
smooth as butter. Brother, I'm not gonna ask you how you are because I just saw you didn't I just see you yesterday?
I believe we saw each other yesterday.
But I will
Yeah,
ask you how was your day?
my day was great. It's so hot outside. Everybody, if you're not, stay hydrated. Stay inside until fall. At this point, it is
No. No. I love summer. Summer's the best season of the year.
even when it's 105 degrees outside.
Do you prefer 105 or 5 below?
Both are terrible, but
Which one is worse? I think
yeah,
5 below is worse.
I get home and then I just sit. Well, I just blast my fan in my room just to get some cold air, just circulating. There we
I
go.
think I think that power nap went a little too long today.
Yeah, in case you guys are wondering, prior to this, I took a 3 hour power nap.
That's like that's a lot of power.
We generated a lot of power over here in Casa de Marcos.
We're talking like Loki's power.
Loki's power, but we're it gave me enough energy to pound it tonight. But how
Sure.
are you doing? How are you doing, my friend?
I am here with my fans on because it's hot, but because I like hot. Also, I also had a good weekend because there we go. This
They
team,
they won.
they are the champions of Argentina. And they also won by a score of 3-1. In fact, I may In fact, I cut out clips. I'm going to show everyone tomorrow that the first goal for each game, the RSL game and the River Plate game, were almost the exact same play. Like,
And minute too.
and almost the same minute. Oh, it
Second minute.
was,
Yeah.
I thought it was the first minute for River Plate. Anyways, it was like first or second minute. It was like ridiculously early. So, anyways, I'm gonna do that. I'm really happy since we're champions, which could mean if RSL won by the same score as River and River became champions, does that mean
No, 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 no. Because there was probably another 3-1 score in MLS on Saturday. So no, does not
I,
classify us as
yes,
champions. We
yes.
got to lift the hardware to become the champion first.
Guess what? There was no 3-1 in MLS besides ours. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. We are the champions, my friends. All right. Well, guess what, guys? We have a lot to go over. When we say a lot, we always say a lot because we always talk a lot. But we're gonna start this way a non-RSL way. We're gonna
Really?
go. Yes,
Ooh.
we're gonna go off of. There we are.
Ooh,
We're gonna
I like.
we're gonna talk about Messi.
Because
Um,
in case you guys did not see, or in case you guys are living under a rock and following MLS, he's official. He signed with Inter Miami over the weekend, and they made his glorious debut introduction yesterday.
so they made his introduction at Inter Miami Stadium.
Hmm.
Um, which I was super excited because coming from my background with I love Latino music. So the concert was supposed to is had because it did happen.
Yeah,
Camilo, it was gonna have Abel Pintos, which is a singer from Argentina. They were gonna have was it Bad Bunny? Were they gonna have?
they were gonna have Bad Bunny. I do love me some Bad
Oh
Bunny.
no, no, they weren't gonna have Bad Bunny.
No bad.
They're gonna have a rapper from Argentina called Paulo Londra, which he's pretty legit. So, anyways, we were really excited for that. Um, when we turned on the TV, we saw that it was raining.
it wasn't just raining; it was coming down in buckets. That I think they had to have the squeegees out for the stage.
Yeah, that stage was a little iffy for me. But anyways, the stadium was the most full that it has ever been this whole season.
And they had to build a new stands like in those corner sections too.
Yeah, because the stadium is weird. It the
It
stadium
looks
is
like
weird.
it looks, in my opinion, like a high school football stadium or like a junior college stadium.
Yeah,
It it
legit.
it, it only holds 18,000, and I think with those two things, I think maybe 19,000.
It reminded me of like high school choir risers.
Yeah, yeah,
It's when you go to the high school choir concerts and they have on the stage the risers. What are they? What
yeah,
else are they called? I call them risers.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so um, that's what it looked like in the corners of the stadium. And so with the rain coming down, the stadium is full.
Hmm.
Didn't it get delayed a little bit? It got delayed a little bit
It got
because of
delayed. It got delayed about an
half hour.
hour, 45 minutes an hour. So
Yeah, something like that. But I mean, for me, this is my opinion. I wasn't oh oof. It wasn't like a huge big thing. It in fact, it kind of disappointed me as a celebration. And I think it might have been because of the rain.
a part of it was that for me as well, because you can look at the stage setting. You mentioned it too when we were watching it, that originally Messi and everybody was supposed to walk out to half field, like where the end of the stage was, where there's gonna probably be more lights, more fireworks, or there was fireworks, but it kind of was little depressing, kind of sad. I'm like, oh, that's it.
Yeah, they kind of went like 10 yards, 15 yards on into the stage. In
A
fact,
few
for
few people almost slipped.
yeah, I was gonna say for those that are watching, Beckham almost biffed it.
Yeah.
That would have been a show. Um, but I mean, it was nice. Introduction of Busquets and Messi. They introduced Busquets first because obviously he's not the star,
Did,
and
did,
then
did that did that surprise you that he was speaking in English for Busquets?
look, um, how do I say this kindly? Not because of you, but because of everyone else. How do I say this kindly? Um, these people have a lot of money. They're very international and very cultured. They already know English.
Well, yeah.
Messi knows English. He just doesn't
He
speak it.
he's, I guess, stubborn to speak it.
He just doesn't want to.
Yeah.
He could, he just want to come off as dumb, I'm assuming, because that's probably what some feel like. But anyways, I wasn't surprised. In fact, so I wasn't surprised that he spoke English. I was surprised that he didn't speak Spanish.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's what I
Reversed
was
it.
going. Reverse. But also when, of course, when Messi came on stage, he introduced to the Miami fans, and then afterwards they did like a welcome to Miami with a bunch of celebrities.
On the video, yes, they did a lot of uh, Latin music artists in that
Yeah.
video. Uh, they did have representatives from the NBA, the NFL. When I say that, it was Tom Brady for the NFL. It
Steph
was
Curry,
Steph Curry for the NBA. You also had you had Camilo, which is
Mark
a
Mark Anthony,
Mark Anthony. You had Maluma. You had
Camilo,
Sebastian Yatra. You had Ricardo Montaner. You had his two sons. You had Gloria Estefan. Okay, I think those are all. If not, I probably missed a couple of them. You had the mayor of Miami, which you heard some people booing, but there was one person that received the most boos on that
which,
video.
looking back now and forever, I'm gonna be confused as to why did he get an invite on this Welcome to Miami video, which was Greg Berhalter. Everybody,
Greg Berhalter, like really, bro, like everyone hates you. Well, I can't say that was a really extreme answer, but he's not well liked in the U.S. national community of
no,
fans.
no, not at all. They could have done better on choosing somebody else besides Greg Berhalter, but it's one I'm scratching my head. I'm like, why, why?
Yeah, in fact, I would have liked if like LeBron.
Oh,
Oh no, maybe because LeBron's a Cristiano fan.
I was gonna say somebody who's on the Miami Heat or the Miami Dolphins.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler. See, anybody like that would have been a better option instead of Greg Berhalter.
Greg Berhalter. Well, anyways, I don't want to keep talking about the ceremony, but I do want to talk about Messi's impact now. Um, Not only with MLS, with his team, let's just talk about what he means right now to soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. Um, what is your expectation, Marcos, of Messi now that he's signed officially and now he's in the league? What do you expect out of him? What do you expect of Inter Miami?
Yeah, my expectations are probably obviously they're not going to be making the playoffs just because they are 12 points out, so that'll be very difficult. But kind of, I think Tata Martinez mentioned in his press conference that he expects this kind of to be the start of a rebuild in a sense for them to get ready for next season. So I expect Messi and also Busquets to just be to kind of be that they have that experience, bringing that experience to the table for people like Joseph Martinez and everybody else because this team needs it because it's a very young team.
So that's your expectation of Miami. You gave a little bit about Messi. Do you have anything else to expound on Messi? Like Messi is he's Messi. What do you expect him to do in this league?
That's a tough one because I don't know what he's wanting out of the,
But it's not what he wants. What How do you expect the league to change around him? Like in games, what do you expect during games when he plays? How do you expect the game to go with him in the game?
I, I can see a good fan interaction. So overall, people will be welcoming him well. We already see tomorrow with Apple TV showing their training session. So overall, I think it's gonna be a great community effort.
So I'm in the same ballpark as you with Inter Miami. I don't expect a lot of out of the team. In fact, I think it's going to be pretty. I think Messi is past the point of he gets frustrated with his teammates.
Yeah.
He just went through the worst 2 years of his career with PSG. Like that was horrible. So he's thinking, you know what? I already won the World Cup. At this point, I'm just here to play soccer. Let's just play. And he knows he's a marketing tool. So I don't think Inter Miami is going to be doing a whole lot in terms of making playoffs.
And I can see it the same kind of effect that David Beckham had, just bringing more money in, bringing more fans to watch the game, and then after 2 years when his deal's up, then who knows what's going to happen from there? Because I still hope prior to the World Cup in 26 that this league and the fan base is still growing.
Well, let me tell you, if you forgot, Beckham helped take the Galaxy to the MLS Cup in his second or third season. So
2009.
exactly 2009. That's what I'm saying. Messi might have that effect next season. Right now,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
totally agree with Tata, but the Messi effect on the league at this point is this for me. You will now see defenders playing a lot harder. You will see people give him more cushion in terms of I don't want to get burned by this guy. So I'm not going to play defense right on top of him because Messi can get out of a hole like that big. Um,
Do you feel like with Messi now coming in, also Busquets, and then more players to come for Miami, do you feel like this could be a change? Teams are wanting to change their formation. Who plays just tactically now?
well, obviously they're going to have to change.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
I think that's the quick answer is yeah, they're all going to change for Messi, but they have to keep in mind that Messi is only one, and you need a group to to do well. I do see I can envision a lot of Messi, Joseph Martinez hookups,
Hmm.
especially with how well Messi just lays a ball in front and Joseph runs. So that's a really good option for them. I do see the possibility of officiating being changed in the MLS. I do see a possible even though Pro may or may not have talked about it, I am not a representative of Pro, and nor am I going to speak for Pro, but I can you can possibly sense a favoritism if Messi has the ball and people are going in for tackles. You bet your bottom dollar the ref is already going to have his whistle in his mouth to protect Messi because he is an asset to the league now. You
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have you have to protect him.
I could see that possibly happening.
I do not support the idea of you treat him as a normal player. You don't treat your best players in your league as normal players because if you don't protect them, you don't have much of a league. So,
No,
yes,
no.
people have been wanting Messi to come, but you also have to protect him while he's here. You can't just say, well, he's going to deserve the same treatment as everyone else. I'm sorry, but as a referee and former, I used to do upper levels. You figure out who the star players is on the team, and you keep an eye on them because you know the other team is going to go straight for them. So as a referee, you protect. So I think officiating is going to change in this league, and it might get a little bit more. How do you say it? You might be seeing a lot more fouls called,
Yeah,
tiki tacky fouls.
yeah. Which is kind of sad to see. No, nobody really wants that. But if you want to be protecting Messi, yeah,
But also, for me, I don't understand why players don't change when officials. Now I'm going to get into it. This is still related to Messi, okay? When referees start calling tiki tacky fouls, I don't understand why players don't change their behavior a lot. When tiki tacky fouls are being called, that's when you need to start playing tiki taka. All right.
yeah,
That means you need to start playing more soccer instead of more body, more on the man. It's you need to play soccer. You
true.
don't need to play physical. So this league is going to change. Period. Whether you like it or not. I think it's going to be changed for people not liking it for me. Because of the reasons that I just gave. This league is very physical, and we have what people call CONCACAF referees, and CONCACAF referees like like physical play. They let things go a lot.
Yeah. You mentioned it before, but I think with having Messi, it's going to really help Joseph Martinez out a lot because right now Joseph Martinez doesn't really have somebody to help him with assists, help him score those goals. So those two on the up top together, that's going to be pretty scary duo.
Yeah, well, not only that, but having a Busquets in the back helping
Yeah,
build, that is going to be dangerous because
yeah,
Busquets is solid.
yeah, and he's still he's not old in his career. He's still younger.
34? Yep. Fatma Busquets. 35.
35. I stand corrected. So he is up there in his career.
He is up there in his career. In fact, I think if I'm not mistaken, him and Messi were in the same La Masia class, along
I
with Iniesta
I believe you're correct. Yeah. So
and Fabregas.
and Fabregas. So it is a 2-year deal that both of them did sign.
Oh, I'm excited for Messi. You know me. I could talk for days about Messi.
No,
Years.
this is an exciting time. I'm I'm interested to see how much playing time he's going to get Friday, what kind of impact immediately against Cruz Azul, how serious Miami is going to be taking this one, and all these factors.
Well, I mean, if you have Busquets and Messi making their debuts on Friday, there is zero reason why Inter Miami shouldn't be going
A full 90.
No, they should be going balls to the walls. They should
Oh
be
yeah.
going all out because they've lost U.S. Open Cup. They've basically lost the league. This is like you're starting from zero.
Now, don't count them out. U.S. Open Cup quite yet. We need Messi to win, so he's playing here.
True, true. But and on top of that, they're playing against a Cruz Azul team that
They're bottom of their table.
yeah. So Cruz Azul is not doing well. Atlanta is doing well, but who knows if Atlanta wants to use all their players on this game? Ooh, oh! People have already mentioned it before, but I just realized Almada and Messi on the same pitch
I know.
again.
Yeah, yeah. So that's going to be very, very interesting.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is
So that's another game to have circled on your calendar for Leagues Cup.
Leagues Cup. Next episode, we're gonna get
Yeah,
deep.
yeah. So yes, so get ready for that one. We're going to be breaking down our brackets and everything, more details for Leagues Cup. But this Friday is when it all kicks off. The Messi debut against Cruz Azul. Woo! Exciting times.
Yes, but not enough about Messi. I'm done.
Which I'm not done, but
let's move on because we're an RSL podcast. We already spent like what 20 minutes on this, so
yeah.
let's
If,
talk
if,
about the game.
if you guys are watching, we apologize, but
we, I mean, again, we're half Argentines, and so we could talk for days about anything Argentina. So let's.
anyway,
It's
we had a match Saturday
yeah, we did.
against the Red Bulls, but prior to getting detailed into the match, shout out to everybody that I ran into in the North tailgate. We have a new supporters group in the south section. It's called Los Caballeros RSL. Did I is that pronounced? Is that
No, it's
correct?
not. It wasn't RSL. It's Los Caballeros Reales.
Reales. There we go.
Yes. So for those that want the translation, they are the Royal Knights.
The Royal Knights. They are a new supporters group in the south, the south section. Join them. They are they're fun group. So check them out. They're on Instagram. And also shout out to people who saw me, who I ran into. Good to see you guys as well. Um,
I mean, if you guys didn't see me, well, you guys saw me in
you,
pictures.
you were there with the kiddos, right?
Oh my gosh. So the tickets that we got, they were like in the sun for like we were there 15 minutes, 10 minutes before kickoff. And we were just roasting. In fact, we're in the right above the L in Real in the stadium. We were in
Yep.
that section. And it's the section where the sun just stays in front of you until it like literally sets behind the Ochre Mountains.
Oh man. And those kids were probably roasting.
Yeah, my daughter was red, but not because she was sunburned, because she gets really hot.
I was gonna
Really
say she's red because she was excited about how good the game was.
also. But anyways, enough about that. I was there, so no worries. Whether how much I watched the game is I had to rewatch the game afterwards because the kids they were just, Dad, I'm hungry. I'm hot. Can I have water? Hey, what's that? How come they're yelling? Oh, it was answering 20 questions during the game. So I love being at the game with them, but watching a game, you can't watch a game with the kids that are that curious.
For sure, for sure. So right away, let's get into it. So for the lineup, we saw a little bit different lineup than we saw on Wednesday. We
Oh yeah, well
saw
yeah, from Wednesday, yeah, it was like completely different
yeah,
because we were resting all these guys.
yeah. So of course Chicho's back, Moose is back in the lineup. Um, Ojeda, Sava's back in the lineup because he didn't travel on Wednesday, along with Ruiz and then Moonboy, the very
Yep.
own Diego Luna,
And then we also had Vera come
who's
in
back.
from go in for Silva, and then
Mhm.
Bodie went in for Anelli,
Yep.
and then McMath
Yeah.
was in goal.
Yeah. So right off the get go, literally 2 minutes into the game, people are still getting into the stadium at this point, probably still finding their seats. We get a beautiful Savarino cross over to Diego Luna, who punches it into the back of the net a minute and a half into the game.
Play starts with Ojeda
Yeah,
playing good defense and gathering the ball in his defensive midfield position. It literally was two touches and then Luna. It was from Ojeda to Sava. Sava dribbled up a little bit, and then that's when he made the cross into the area. And what a one-touch shot from Luna.
yeah, just the timing, the precision, that was on point by him. That was very nicely done.
In fact, it almost seemed like the cross was it seemed like it was unexpected. The person that was marking Luna, if you watch the replays, he was on top of Luna the whole time. And
Mhm.
then all of a sudden Luna breaks because Sava crossed the ball right then, and the defender like didn't react with Luna. It was the weirdest thing. I was like, that one should have been marked.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I watched it over again today, and he looked rather confused. I agree with that. He didn't expect it to be coming in.
yeah, and it's not like we had a lot of players in the area. I think we only had the three. We had Chicho, Moose, and Luna on the backside. He was making a
Hmm.
backside run,
Yeah,
just like what he did against St. Louis. He's just making a
yeah,
backside run. Um, and and I think that's been the dagger that we've been killing people with is at least to start off. That's how Luna got the first goal against St. Louis. That's how he got the first goal here. It was just
yeah.
that backside run.
And teams haven't been doing their homework. They haven't been watching film apparently.
Well, I mean, it's not even like doing homework or watching film. That's just tactically not being aware. I mean, like I just said, the defender was on Luna, on him, like he was holding him. Then let go when all of a sudden Luna started breaking. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna let him go." Again, I don't think he realized the ball had been crossed at that point.
Yeah, and some might say this was against a not so good New York Red Bulls team. They're not great, but mind you, what you just said, he's done this against St. Louis, who is number one in in the West. So he is a skillful player. He knows what's coming.
Which and I'm also happy that Saba was the one that assisted that because Sava I don't think has gotten an assist in a minute. So having Sava assist that and the quality of ball that he put in just just clarifies to us that what we thought at the beginning of the season with Sava on the left hand side and Gomez on the right, we've now understood that Sava can play anywhere.
Mhm.
It seemed like that Gomez wasn't comfortable on the left hand side.
Yeah.
Um, and we're obviously glad that Luna is in that left side position. I have a little spiel coming up here. Um, I'm glad that Luna is in on that left side because that left side is his side. You can tell that he's not in the middle like we thought he was going to be when he came back from the World Cup.
Yeah.
The left side is his side.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I was kind of hesitant as that as well because I was like, no, left side is Sava's side. That's where he's been starting the season. That's where he was last. But we know that Luna he plays on that left side and that's kind of his now. And Sava he's kind of a dual threat.
But um, we'll talk a little bit more about Sava's goal, but most of Sava's goals, if not all of his goals, have come from him being on the left side.
That's true. That's true. He can go on that left side and then cut in with using that right foot.
Yeah, it's just finding the right person to be able to do the switches with. Um, anyways, the
But
cross to Luna, beautiful.
but congratulations to Luna because on the celebration, if you saw, his they're expecting a baby boy.
Baby boy. This is the first child?
Yeah, first one. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was his number two goal of the season. So very nice.
That goal was number 2.
That yeah that was the second goal of the season right there. That
Yeah.
was number 2.
Um, so this first half, for me had its ups and downs, but for I heard another podcast earlier today say that RSL did not play well in the first half, but they played well in the second half. I actually think the opposite. I think RSL had a great first half showing with a lot of chances. But there was one mistake that was made that it almost cost us in the 23rd minute.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Pablo Ruiz got the ball stolen.
We've seen this happen already this season against St. Louis. If you remember back.
That's the exact same way. I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
deja vu.
because I remember watching and I was like, no, 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 no. And luckily he gets the ball, but it just barely misses the post.
But do you know why? Do you know why? Do you know why he had to shoot it when he shot it?
Just the
Did
timing.
did you see where McMath was?
Yeah,
He
McMath
was
was coming
almost
out.
he was almost at the top of the area.
Yeah.
He came out fast, which forced him to try to chip it, and chipping it
Mhm.
from that far out at that speed is really hard to have accuracy.
So just the fact that it was it was inches from the post. I'm like, whew, that
It
was
was close.
not cool.
That ended up being for me, I think our only big huge mistake,
Yeah.
except for the goal against us. But
So if you
um,
look at the first half stats, we were controlling it, 58% possession, with 6 shots, 4 for them, and then we were controlling a lot of the passes right from the get go. 189 passes to 123.
yeah, that's why I said first half was about control. We got the
Yeah.
goal, and we just controlled. We had a couple more shots than they did, um, but you just had a sense of confidence because of the goal.
Yeah.
So there wasn't really much more to say in that first half. At least I don't have anything that sticks out to me.
No, no,
We had a lot of breakaways. In fact, Chicho had breakaways.
he did. He did. I was kind of disappointed that he didn't bury at least one of them, but the fact that we've mentioned this before in other episodes, the fact that we do now have a number 9 who who isn't afraid to just go and take those shots, I'm happy.
I think um, if we were to break down the amount of goals that we've scored in the first half of the season, so right now we're at 24 games in. If we take
Hmm.
the first 12 games and our last 12 games, I think you'll see a huge difference in goals for.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And so right now, I'm not as upset as I probably would have been with the misses because
Yeah.
we have so many people that can score.
Yeah. It's just getting those chances and then finishing them. That's what we need.
Yeah.
But halftime, of course, up 1-0, and then to start the second half, New York they're kind of frantic, so they do three substitutions. I think the one looking at these substitutions, the one that kind of surprises me that they don't do right at the 46th minute as well is Frankie Amaya,
Mhm.
because Amaya, I believe he's at 4 or 5 goals. I think 4 goals. And we've seen what kind of player he is. We'll get to it in a second with his goal. But that one right away, if they're needing an attacking player, why not put him in?
That one was a very interesting one, but you can see it even on the formations. The 46-minute subs, they took out 3 out of their 4 attackers.
Yeah, yeah,
Like they really wanted a result.
yeah.
So it's not like they were
A
sitting
draw or
back.
anything.
Well, I mean, like I said, it's not like they were sitting back and be like, well, hopefully we get a goal. No, they were looking for it.
Yeah.
Um, but I think because of that, they exposed themselves. Um, which it, let's talk about the second goal. Um,
Yeah, so we
this,
have Musovski literally with the ball, just dribbling, and kind of looks like he just stumbled over the ball in a way. Kind of the defender just poked it at it.
yeah, I think it was a defensive. was a defensive effort where they poked the ball away from him. It was a Luna passed it to Musovski. Musovski was driving down the middle. Musovski gets the ball poked away, and Luna, because he's scrappy, he's young, has all that energy. He just follows behind it and picks up the ball where it got left off.
And really just scoops it up
But
and over.
but it was he took the ball one touch. His second touch was like literally half a second later was a pass to Moose. Moose with the awareness one touches it back to Luna, who then gives us a little chip over the sliding keeper. And so that was impressive follow-up on Luna. Impressive awareness by Moose to put it into space for Luna, and Luna's awareness of where the keeper was, how he was going down in order to get it up and over.
Yeah, that impressed me so much, for especially for being his age, only at 19, turning 20 coming up, but still just knowing where to be, how to finish, all those things. With that assist, that brings it up to 4 assists on the season for Moose, 3 goals on the season for Luna. So impressive by both of them, just being able to read each other very well.
Yeah. So after that point, this is where I was a little concerned. This is where we kind
Of course, about 3 minutes afterwards, then that's when New York brings in Frankie Amaya.
Right, and that's where I think that's where our slump starts happening. We have bursts of oh yeah, that was a good play, good shot, but for the most part, the second half was Red Bulls, and it was. It's not that I'm scared. It's not that I'm worried. I'm not sure what it was, but the lack of, well, first off, it was lack of shots. We had 3 shots that whole entire half, and 2 of them ended up being goals.
Yeah.
So with the Red Bulls having 6 shots that half.
Mm-hmm.
Now none of them ended up being anything, but well, one of them did. But it was kind of just meh for the second half for RSL. So much so that finally the Red Bulls broke through and got themselves a goal, which was it almost seemed like everyone was just kind of standing around. It was a cross to the middle where Vera was marking area. It went right in front of him. Glad was trying to rush to try to stop the shot from happening. And it was like a shot that went in between a lot of legs, a lot of people, and McMath couldn't react fast enough.
Yeah, it just didn't seem like you mentioned, Glad and Vera kind of ball watching. They just didn't think that Frankie Amaya was going to be taking that shot right off the get-go.
Like I said, it was in between a lot of people. So
yeah.
I don't
good on Kyle Duncan to be able to see Frankie Amaya and trust him and to be able to just go for it.
Now. I'm gonna say now. I say that a lot in a lot of episodes. You can't tell me that Duncan saw Maya and said, "It's gonna go to you." I think it was one of those. He just ripped it into the area, hoping someone's gonna get a foot on it.
For sure. But so New York, they get their goal, 2-1. But like we've said several times, you can't trust 2-goal lead. Very, very dangerous.
Yeah. My feelings at that point, I was like, oh crap, because it was the 80th minute. We had already done 4 subs. We had put in. In fact, let's just see. We took out Chicho. We took out Moose. We took out Luna, and we took out Ruiz.
Yeah, I was going to mention that really quick because we saw because it was right when Chicho's substitution, he was just sitting down. Did that kind of worry you, or not so much?
Yes, I think everyone was worried. Earlier today, we had to get confirmation that whether if he was injured or not, because the way that I can't remember what knock he took, but it was enough where he was limping. You could see he was limping.
Oh yeah.
It was scary, and so luckily he's not injured.
No.
That's all we can say. He's not injured.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm happy. I was worried as well, but the subs that came in, it was still very deep. We Anderson Julio, who's been our super sub these past few games, come in. Nelson making his home debut, and then Oviedo, and then as well as Krylock, which usually we see that opposite. Usually we see Krylock coming off, but
I mean, again, we have a really deep lineup.
yeah,
I'm not worried about our depth, and I'm not worried about the people on there. I think this was a game of mentality, and we needed to keep the mentality up because in previous be I guess, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say this. Previously, we probably would have let this game get out of hand, and we probably would have let the other team come back.
oh, absolutely, absolutely, definitely.
We've had to work a lot on mentality, and we've seen it for the past 2.5 months that the mentality has improved. Just that we all of us suffer from PTSD, and we're all of us are worried. Um, but 81st minute, a minute after Red
Yeah,
Bull scored, we have an attack coming down the left hand side where Oviedo tries to cross it, gets blocked. Ball heads out, back to the sideline. He sees a easy quick pass over to Sava. Sava then does what I've said how many episodes?
you you don't leave Sava wide open on that left hand side. Never.
I mean, and I'm going to correct you. He wasn't even wide open. It was just he received the ball and started dribbling in. He made a drive literally horizontal, and you know what's going to happen. In fact, I was sitting in my spot and I'm just yelling, shoot, shoot, because I know what's going to happen.
That was a rocket. That was a beauty of a shot, and I can just see the look on his face, how happy he was finally to bury one.
I mean, it had been a couple of games. It's been like a month since he
Yeah,
scored.
yeah.
So it was a great goal. I mean,
It was.
flip. It was literally what have I said? It's he'll start driving in by pushing it with the outside of his right, going to the right, and start driving until he can find a slight opening to just curl it. He just curls it to the back post.
Yeah,
That's a Sava goal.
and with that, he's now the leading goal scorer in our team at 6 goals.
We're glad. I wonder how he feels.
I failed to mention it after Luna's second goal, but with 2 goals, he's now the youngest player in RSL history to score 2 goals in one game.
At what, 19 years old,
And
311 days?
something like that. Well, probably 12 now.
But that's amazing. And we've had some pretty good young players too.
We have. So right after that Sava goal, everybody was feeling good, feeling confident.
Nail in the coffin.
Nail in the coffin. Great result at home, picking up a 3 points, which with those 3 points that we needed, it moves us tied with LAFC in second place. But LAFC, of course, does have a game in hand.
And it moves us ahead of, well, I think we were already ahead of Seattle with
Yeah.
by 1 point.
And also with the win, we are plus plus in goal differentials since for the first time since the beginning of the season. So can I get a
Since, since if I'm not wrong, since the Vancouver game, that was the last game we were at a positive goal differential.
You are correct, my friend. You are correct.
That's crazy. It's taken us 23 games to get positive again.
Yeah, yeah. So does it worry you with the momentum that we're riding on to all of a sudden just take a month-long break from MLS, or do you? Or,
I'm not worried because one, it's not like MLS has stopped. Games are
no.
still going to be going on.
Oh,
What
obviously, yeah.
what worries me is if we don't do well in Leagues Cup. We're not going to get deep into this, but
No, no, of course not.
if we do not do well, then yes, we will be 3 weeks without a game.
Yeah, yeah. So I am kind of maybe partially worried because I'm like, oh, this is a month-long break. I hope this continues, especially with the 2 new players. But I think this is good timing because, of course, we have Seattle and then Monterrey. So This is good time.
Yes. Now, what the thing that I've been seeing most on Twitter, and because Twitter is where I live, Marcos, you live everywhere, but Twitter is where I live. Twitter gets toxic a lot. We know that,
It
but
can. It can.
but somehow, whether I'm interpreting the sarcasm wrong or not, this is what I've saw and felt. After this game, there was like a divide among some RSL fans. There was some there was the side that said, um, we believed in Pablo the whole time. We believed in Luna the whole time. You guys that didn't believe, you guys should all apologize. You guys don't know anything about soccer. Kind of vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether that's true or not, whatever. Then there's the other side, where everyone, even myself, where we've said, look, first 7 games of the season were crap.
Oh,
We need to
100%.
we need to replace coach. People were saying, the people that were saying that Luna should have been playing from the beginning, I was saying Luna hasn't proved himself. I didn't say
Hmm.
he was bad. I said Luna has not proved himself. I don't see why he deserves more minutes when he hasn't proven himself, especially
Hmm.
when we had the likes of Sava and Gomez. Gomez when he was playing well.
Yeah.
Um, and so we heard it in the press conference that Pablo gave that Luna was not ready to play. He was not ready to step up before
Hmm.
the World Cup. He was not. And that's why Pablo was not playing him. And yet we still have these people saying that I don't care. Luna should have been playing from the very beginning of the season. I think it was hindsight, because that's how we can react now. Hindsight says that Pablo was right in not playing Luna.
Yeah.
Pablo trusted his system. It just needed some time to catch its rhythm. It
Yeah.
caught its rhythm once we won in against Charlotte, lost
Hmm.
against Dallas, then we won again against San Jose. That for me was the beginning of the process. It
I think.
it the kinks worked out by the end of May.
Yeah. I think doing this slow process by having with Luna going to the World Cup, him getting minutes there, and then Pablo and his staff saw that how well he did, scoring goals, assisting. Be like, hey, we're gonna give this young player a chance, and it's worked so
Well,
far.
and I'm actually going to say it's not because of how he scored and how he played in the World Cup. It was his mentality when he came back. What Pablo said. It was less individual, more collective. It was more about the team. It wasn't about the individual. Where Luna before was like, I'm really good. I should be playing. That's what I'm thinking. Whether he
Yeah,
said it or not, but now since he's come back, he has bought into the team as the star,
yeah,
and that is what has helped this team throughout the past uh, 2.5 months.
yeah. I agree because that's the way that we need to always have that team mentality, being able to team first instead of just yourself. And that's what I love about Luna being such a young player, and who knows what kind of potential he's eventually going to have.
I mean, he has the sky's the limit at
The
this point. He's
sky's
he's
the
only
limit.
he's only 19. But what I want to get at is that we as RSL fans, we need to stop with the dividing arguments of, oh,
Exactly.
you guys were in that camp before, and oh, now you guys are thinking this way. Well, yes, soccer evolves. The season evolves. Plus, we're all on the same team. Let's cheer for the same people. Let's cheer for the progress, the positives that are coming out, instead of lulling in the oh, you guys thought negative and now you think positive. What kind of fans do you think you are, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I am a true fan. I will be mad when we're doing bad. I will be glad when we're doing really well, and I'll be every emotion in between.
Yeah, being an RSL fan, I think we have felt every emotion from 2009 to 2016 with Jeff Cassar, like with Mike Petke. We felt it all.
Yeah, we felt it all, and it's okay to feel them all. I mean, we can't stay neutral and think of the perspective of someone else. Someone was mentioning that RSL fans are the most emotionally most unstable. I think that's the word they said. over the past couple of years because of how roller coaster we've been, where in the bad we hate everyone, we want to replace everyone, and in the good we think we're going to win the cup. It's okay to be that way. It really is. I mean, yes, you have to control what you say sometimes. There's many things that I wish I could say, but I know that there's consequences behind words. But it's okay to be a fanatic. It's okay to think the way you think, because no one's played the kind of soccer I've played. No one's seen this kind of soccer that I've seen, so they don't know where I'm coming from when I say my opinions. So it's
For sure.
okay. It's
For
okay.
sure. All RSL fans, we just need to take a step back and just accept and just look at other people's perspectives when it comes to this beautiful game of football.
Amen. Amen. Because everyone has seen I've changed. I thought
Absolutely.
Luna's not a starter. Luna probably should be playing back with the Monarchs and just stay there.
Yeah.
To now, Luna is my starter. Luna, there's no offense without Luna, and we're talking bigger things for Luna in the future.
I will admit it. Like, I was the same as you. I just thought he was only USL Monarchs material. Like, when he played that game with the Monarchs and scored 2 goals, I was like, oh, perfect. That's where he's gonna belong. He's gonna be the leading goal scorer for the Monarchs. But how the tides have changed, my friend.
How the turntables? How has Michael Scott say it? How the turntables?
How the
Turn.
turntables have turned. But before we close, we just want to everybody, in case you guys saw, it's our 2-month anniversary. So happy 2 months.
That's it. That's in honor of not doing any predictions today.
But in case you guys are not already following, check us out: Instagram, Twitter, Threads, all at the RSL Bros. Give us a follow. Give us a thumbs up as well. If you're watching this, subscribe. We guys, we love you guys so much. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. We appreciate um, we appreciate the follow, because really it's just the two of us giving our opinions. Instead of doing it now over texting, we now just make it public, everything that we say. So we really appreciate it. We appreciate everyone just following, giving your opinions, liking our stuff. Liking our stuff actually makes us really feel really good. Makes me feel like I'm doing something good on social media. But thank you. That's all we can say. I mean, it's been a crazy 2 months. We're probably the youngest RSL podcast, I think, right now.
For sure, for sure. But you guys stay tuned for next episode coming out on Friday. Like we said, we're gonna be breaking down our bracket, our picks for Leagues Cup, which begins Friday. You guys are not gonna want to miss out on that.
It's gonna get intense.
But until then, take care, guys.
Ciao, ciao.